Going ahead with our schedule, poetry reading in English. I would request M.K. Ajay sir to grace the dais. Moving on to our poet, Hassanal Abdullah sir. I request you to grace the dais. Moving on to our next poet, Yusuke Miyake. We also have another very talented poet, Sam Pawnee. I hand over the session to M.K. Ajay sir. A big round of applause. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. I think we will get straight into some poetry reading. So what I will request is maybe starting from Sam, we can come this way. Each of us can read 2 or 3 poems, and then maybe we do another round of 1 poem each, and then see how it goes. Okay, so we can either read from here or go up to the podium. And the one thing I would mention is, as you would have noticed, we all come from different countries, united though by poetry and our love for literature. And there are some very unique voices and styles that you will discern in the poetry of everybody here. And without spending more time expounding on the poetry, maybe I will ask Sam to read his poems. And I've always enjoyed Sam's poems because I think he's got a very unique, very rarely seen humor in poetry. So over to you, Sam.
Well, thank you very much to Manu Das, first of all, for inviting me. It's a real pleasure to be back in India after 20 years, actually. I grew up in Tamil Nadu, but this is my first time back. And thank you to Ajay as well for letting me know about this festival in the first place. It's a real pleasure to be here. So Ajay, how many poems shall we read each? 3? 2? Okay, very good. So I'll start with one that's just called Cat. Let's put it this way. You like sitting. If possible, you sleep most of the day. But when the doorbell rings, you hide, scuttling into the darkest corner. Games obsess you. You can't help yourself chasing after baubles. You cackle for hours at the flickering light on the wall in the long afternoon. You don't drink enough water. You're fussy about food, but guzzle every morsel of your favorites. And the smell of treats sends you into a frenzy. You're getting a bit on the heavy side. I'd tell you to change your lifestyle, but what do I know? I'm just your cat. And this next one is called Election Pitch. I believe you're having an election here fairly soon. So this is Election Pitch. The economic welfare of our city depends upon a populace kept busy. And while we are close to full employment, there are those who are frankly disappointing. A certain shiftless segment of the people whose financial contribution is too little. I mean, and it will come as no surprise, those incorrigible scroungers, the under fives. I ask you, what percentage of our budget is made up from the youngest people's input? I admit we lack definitive statistics, but venture to suggest it's non-existent. Now, clearly these dependents lack the money to pay society their dues directly. But if not cash, yet they can still show keen by contributing subject to their means. Yes, to remedy an aspect far too lax, I propose to introduce a teddy tax. If every infant were obliged to yield one well-loved toy or blanket every year, one monster truck, one doll, one teddy bear, it would demonstrate to all the rules are fair. Thus, our city could enjoy a more efficient and equitable economic system. Thank you.
Hello, hello everyone. My name is Yusuke Miyake, and I came from Tokyo in Japan. I usually make a traditional poem in Japan, like a haiku or tanka. But for this festival, I made something poem which connected India, and I made it the day before yesterday. During my flight from Tokyo to Delhi, I made 4 poems, but this time I read 2 poems about India. He read about poem about cat, so I will read dog. The poem about dog, yes. A wild dog. Walking out of Delhi airport, a stray dog followed me. I never looked back. Not because if I turned around, he would attack me, because I knew for sure that if I turned around, he would be in a yoga pose. And one more poem about India. Mohenjo-daro. In New Delhi Museum, there is a statue of a man excavated from the Mohenjo-daro. The man's eyes are not in the middle of the face, but located quite at the top. It can be said that it is mostly around the forehead. Is it to see far away? Maybe. To see the error before the birth of God. Thank you.
I guess this is my turn. Thank you very much. Thank you, Manuda, for inviting me for the second time. I'll read my poem in Bengali and English. And if you allow me, I'll read the second one only in English. All of you already ate, so I don't think you need to eat anymore. But let's see, eat together. খাবো আমি খাবো খাচ্ছি এবং আরো খাবো যা যা পাবো আমি খাবো সকাল খাবো সন্ধ্যা খাবো রাত্রি খাবো কাজে যাওয়া আসার সময় ট্রেন ও বাসের যাত্রী খাবো আমি খাবো Can you say it? Very good. আকাশ খাবো পাতাল খাবো ভদ্রলোক আর মাতাল খাবো চন্দ্র খাবো সূর্য খাবো হাজার রনের সূর্য খাবো ইচ্ছা মতন আসবো যাবো ইচ্ছা মতন কিচ্ছা খাবো রৌপ্য খাবো স্বর্ণ খাবো মুখ চোখ ও কর্ণ খাবো বিশ্বের সব বর্ণ খাবো দালান কোঠা গাড়ি খাবো সব শুয়োরের নাড়ি খাবো ভণ্ড খাজার দাড়ি খাবো রোজা খাবো রাজা খাবো মৃত নয় তাজা খাবো অত্যাচারীর সাজা খাবো আমি খাবো I'm in English. You know, there are wars all over, so we have to eat all of them, all the tyrants, right? I will eat. I will eat. Eating now and will eat more. I will eat whatever I get for sure. I will eat the dawn, the dusk, and the dark on the way to work, back to home. I will eat on the train and bus. I will eat whatever I pass. I will eat the heaven and hell, wise guys and the loon. I will lead the sun and the moon. I will come and go as I wish, eating the bugle of 1,000 battles at ease, scandals too. Whatever I please, I will eat silver, gold, eyes, ear, and the face. I will eat each and every race. I will eat palaces, coaches, guards of all swine and roaches. I will eat the musk of the hypocrite. Yes, I will eat. I will eat peasants. The monarch's head, alive, not the dead. The tyrant's fat with feet. I will eat. Thank you. As I said, after eating all this, when we have peace, right? We want peace. So when we have peace, we want some happiness. I wait for something better. I wait for something better. A better start of the day, a better evening. I wait for a better song, birds' feathers, a better piece of poetry. I wait for a better breaking news. I wait for something better. A better afternoon, a luminous face, better oaks, sunny sky. I wait for a better book. I wait for something better, a better stream, a better boat, cheerful of spring, a room full of guests. I wait for a better friendship. I wait for something better, a better house, an open balcony, a fresh breeze, lots of flowers, a better land of green, a better harvest. I wait for a better life. Thank you.
I think it would be nearly impossible to match the musical rendering of Hassanal. I mean, that was fabulous. So much of emotive power in that rendering. Truly enjoyed it and transported me to a very different realm. I'm going to read a poem which actually was inspired by my younger teenage daughter. She's now 17, but 2 years back, she had this habit of asking a lot of questions about everything. And that was a time I was reading quite a bit of early Buddhist philosophy and I was meditating, and then this is a conversation which happened between her and me during breakfast. Not entirely, I used a bit of my poetic imagination to change the conversation. So the poem is called Pancakes with Berries and Cream. Pancakes with berries and cream. That double-decker circle with a chocolate brown rooftop and a khaki understory is called pancake. The master explains. It is a form full of meaning during breakfast, but empty nonetheless. Shunyata, he says. What about its sweetness, master? The student asks. The master considers the question. Wrinkles appear between his eyes. That's a primitive taste, a layer on your perception, a label sandwiched in your brain. So empty then, master? The student asks again. The cream dissolves. The waiter clears the fork and spoon first, followed by the body and any last notion of the self. Thank you. The next is a title poem of my collection which was recently published by Dowley Books. It's called Lunar Eclipse. Lunar eclipse. Your sweetness lingers in my metaphor, a tasty crumb of flux, an animal rhythm that rips my heart out of its socket of rules. The festival of heat has at last begun, and I lower myself into this earth's crust of creepers and thirst. I come out through a cave of sleeping leopards, of storms and boiling wetness. The moon too has risen, spoken about us, gently wrapped our shadows into the spin of this earth, into this frenzied space between your moan and the silence. Thank you. I think we can probably read one more poem. We can start again with you, Sam.
Okay. I will read a Hong Kong poem, which was written around the time of the protests which took place a few years ago. Some of you might have read about it on the news. And this is called Vroom Vroom Pantoum. A pantoum, by the way, is a form of poem where one line from each stanza is repeated in the next stanza. So, Vroom Vroom Pantoum. We need to bring back harmony. Order needs to be restored. And this can only be achieved using the long arm of the law. For calm and order to be restored, the surest method and the best is sticking the long arm of the law directly into a hornet's nest. The surest method and the best is reaching deep into that hole in the middle of the hornet's nest. Let's stretch that arm as far as it goes. Can you hear from within the hole that loud and rising high-pitched hum? Now stir your arm as fast as it goes. With vigor now, vroom, vroom, vroom. You see, that rising swarm with its fevered hum heralds a newfound harmony. With a vigorous stir and a vroom, 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 contented calm has been achieved. Thanks.
Okay, I read poem about India one more, and I am very interested in the ancestor of Japanese language, and recently one linguist, language scientist in Japan insisted that the ancestor of Japanese language is Tamil language, that is Indian language. And I'm very interested in. But nowadays, there's many evidence come up, so maybe it is, I'm not sure it is true or not, but I'm very interested in his theory. So I'll talk about Japanese language and Tamil language. And I also explain tanka. Tanka is similar to haiku. It's 57577 syllables it has. And it's similar to the Tamil sangam. Okay, I'll read about it. My tanka. The ancestor of the Japanese language is in Tamil. There was a linguist who once said so. Japanese tanka is derived from the Tamil sangam. He also said that. So why do the Tamil people want to perform my tanka? That tanka will come back from Tamil thousands of years later. A great circle is established. I am in that blank time while lying on the arc of the circumference. I am waiting for the ripples of voice print. Thank you.
This is my turn again. Some of you know that yesterday I flew from Poland. This was the fourth time I came to Poland. This time I was staying there longer because I have to come here. I don't want to go back to US. So my wife also came to Poland for the 21st Polish International Poetry Festival. She went back because she has to go to work. And recently I got my retirement, early retirement, so I could go all over the world. I stayed a little longer. They actually showered me with lots of work. In the morning, I was teaching in a school. I went 5 different schools. In the evening, I was reading poetry. And this time, actually, from Poland, I got 2 medals and 1 International Poetry Award. However, why I'm saying that, this book that Dowley Books published recently, I'm going to read one sonnet. 2021, there is a book published in Polish of mine, Under the Thin Layers of Light, the one from the one I was reading. But this poem also went to that book. It was not supposed to be. What happened? The first time I came to Poland, 2019, I was reading all the poems that had been translated by now. There are only 4 poems. Then the translator has to translate instantaneously. So I was reading these sonnets, and she translated it. Immediately, there were 2 editors came up and said, "Give me that poem." She said, "I don't have it. You just read it." She said, "I just translated it." She said, "Write it down." So this is how this poem went to that book. Swatantra Sonnet 177. This is a love poem. By the way, I write sonnets differently, other than Shakespeare and Plutarch. Those who are literary or student, I see a lot of students here, or dignitaries, those who already ate, I don't see them here. Anyway, students, thank you. I give applause for you. Please give applause for yourself for being here. I have heard the noble sound of your footsteps, my love. Come, come closer and slowly open your heart. Spread the fragrance of your beautiful breast. Let the door be closed. Embrace me tightly with your gentle hands and set your sweetest lips on mine like a wild dove. Keep on crawling up to finding my heart's main thread, vivid as the spring trembling at the ocean floor. Take off the seamless boutique sari and raise both hands to untie your hair. Brush me like rose petals. Without you, I am always lonely, dry and dark. Implant the fresh eternal light in my green land. Don't bother making the bed tonight. Rather soothe the warmth of my tense body, my tropical cells, spreading the pure touch of your astounding sparks. Thank you.
Thank you, Hasnal. Maybe because I grew up in Kerala, the first 15 years, my first language, the language in which I taught for those 15 years was Malayalam. I still sometimes write poems where some of the sentences come in Malayalam and some come in English. So I think I have a schizophrenic brain which partly thinks in my mother tongue, partly in English. So I'm going to read a series of 5 interconnected haikus, and each haiku I wrote in Malayalam, at least the first 3 fully, and then translated into English. And the last 2 just came in English. So I will first read the first 3 haiku in Malayalam and then read the English translation and then read the last 2 haikus. പൊട്ടിയ ഭൂമിയുടെ വിരളിയ അസ്ഥി പൊട്ടിയ ചില്ലുകഷ്ണങ്ങൾ. ആകാശം ഒരു തുള്ളി കരയുന്നു. A cracked earth's pale bone, a billion shards of broken glass. The sky weeps one drop. ഒരു ഉന്മാദ ചെണ്ടയുടെ പിരിമുറുക്കം, ഡിജിറ്റൽ പൾസ്, സ്ഥിരമായ അടി, കേൾക്കാത്ത മൃദുവായ ശബ്ദങ്ങൾ. A frantic drum's tension, digital pulse, a steady thrum, soft voices unheard. സൂചിയുടെ പെട്ടെന്നുള്ള കുത്തൽ, മോഷ്ടിച്ച നിശ്ചലത, തകർന്ന ശാന്തത, ലോകത്തിൻ്റെ വിയോജിപ്പ്. A needle's sudden prick, stolen stillness, fractured calm, the world's discordant hum. And the last two are only in English. A heart's wild frenetic beat, longing for silent space, a hopeless fight ensues. A single tear reflects a broken world in a broken heart is a deafening drone. Thank you. I think we've probably run out of time, but it was lovely experience reading with all of you. I hope everybody enjoyed listening to us as much as we had fun reading. Thank you.
Thank you everyone for joining us. I think those poems transferred us to a different state. I would like to thank our sponsors for coming forward and joining hands and making this festival a great success. Our presenting sponsors, Remedial Life Sciences and Manpar Icon Technologies, powered by Indian Oil and LIC. Associate sponsors, JM Bakshi, Hind Terminals and S&M Group. Our cultural partner, ICCR, book partner, Oxford, Lekha Lekhi, knowledge partner, Utkal University and ASBM University. Thank you everyone.